I can go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Sherry Little, and I work for the Healthy Living Program, and I've been part of FIU since 2003. I'm a massage therapist. I also do the cranial sacral work and cranial facial, and as well as the sound therapy. It's just a great place to work. I've really enjoyed it from the beginning, and I feel a lot of support with working here. And today, what we're going to focus on is the middle back and all the muscles that kind of are involved in moving your middle back, and what muscles cause a lot of the pain, and we're going to talk about how to release it slightly. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to get started. I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to go through. And after this, what will happen is I'm just going to give you some information. Try to stay a little focused with it, because it can help to know where those muscles lie and what can be causing some of your pain. And then after that, I will talk about some self-massage, which is a little difficult for the middle back, but I have some apparatus that I'm going to show you that will help. If you can try to purchase a couple of these things, it will really bring a lot of relief to you. And then I will talk about sleep positions that can be causing some of the problems, and some stretching. Okay, so we will get to that after I do this little PowerPoint. So let me share the screen. And start this. Okay. So as you guys can see, this guy has pain throughout his back, and right there in the middle, that area is very hard to get to on your own, but there are a lot of stretches that can help that area. Okay, so we will get to that in a bit. So some of the common issues and problems with the middle back are dull aches. Sometimes you just have an achiness that doesn't go away, and you kind of find yourself moving and stretching naturally. A lot of that can be caused by the way you're sitting and your posture, sitting for too long in one position. So I highly recommend moving around a little bit, and I'm going to give you some of those little exercises that you can do even at your desk, where you don't even have to get up. That will help tremendously. Sharp pain can be caused from herniations in the disc, which usually you will know about that because it can cause severe pain down the leg, or especially if it's in the lower back. But it can radiate pain throughout the body that's pretty severe, and that you have to take great care with. And unfortunately, with herniated disc, a lot of people end up having to have surgery. It's one of those things that's really hard to correct on your own. So if we always want to protect our spines, I tell people who are lifting heavy weights or doing anything like that to be super careful, even if you're young. I mean, especially when you're young, because you think that you can't hurt yourselves, and you can hurt yourself with weight. So be careful with that. You can have poor range of motion from tightness in the back, in the middle back. If you have trouble turning to one side or the other, that's your range of motion, right? If you can't go very far because there's pain in the back or tightness, then some of these stretches that I'm going to show you today will help. And then, of course, trouble sleeping. If you find yourself constantly having to turn around, move this way or that way to get to sleep because your back is hurting you, I'm going to give you some sleeping positions that have to do with using some pillows or things to prop up certain body parts that will help you with that, okay? So in the middle back, you have the middle and lower trapezius, which that's right here. Your trapezius is really three parts, which the upper trapezius here, that part that supports the weight of the arm, and it also lifts the shoulder. It helps lift the shoulder with another muscle that is attached right here, okay? Then you have the middle region, which we're talking about today. Along with this middle trapezius, you have the rhomboids, and the rhomboids, all of that helps pull your shoulders back. When you go like this, those muscles are contracting, your middle trapezius and your rhomboids, okay? Very often, there's a lot of knotting right in here. For almost everyone that I massage, if I go to this area, I'm going to find knots. And that's from either holding too much, not stretching enough, not moving, or a combination of all of the things. And then you have the lower part, which medially rotates and depresses the scapula. So it pulls your shoulders down and rotates you. Okay, it helps in the rotation of your torso. So any knotting in those areas can cause pain, right? It pulls, it causes nerve impingement sometimes, and you want to be able to do some things to help relieve that pain. The erector spinae muscles are a group of long muscles that originate near the sacrum, which is the bottom of your spine. Okay, you can touch that pretty easily. It's right there, it's pretty prominent. It's the very base of your spine where your tailbone is at the base of that, okay? And it extends vertically up the length of the back. The erector spinae muscles lie on each side of the vertebral column, which is your spine, and it extends alongside the lumbar, thoracic, and cervical section of the spine. So it goes from the bottom of the spine, all those muscles go all the way up, and they go along the neck as well. The erector spinae muscles function to straighten the back and provide for side-to-side rotation. And injury or strain to these muscles may cause back spasms and pain. So let's say you lift something here, and here are those muscles. You can see they are along the entire side of the spine. So when we do massages, we are always going to these muscles that are also connected to, they're laying alongside or on top of the, actually those are underneath, but you have the middle trapezius and the upper trapezius, and then levator scapula up along the neck. So you can see that they are super important muscles because they're really supporting your whole body, just keeping you, you know, erect. That's why it's called erector spinae. It's keeping you so you can sit up straight, stand up straight. So the stronger those muscles are, the more supported your spine is. And at the same time, you also want to continue to stretch those muscles, get massages, do anything you can to keep them from knotting or spasming, because that can cause a lot of pain throughout the entire body. And then the reason why we mention these oblique muscles, which are in the front of the body, they're the external oblique muscles are located on the outer surface of the sides of the abdomen, okay? On each side of the rectus abdominis, which is right here. Sorry, where's my little, right there. Okay, those are your rectus abdominis. The muscles extend from the lower ribs to the pelvis. The external oblique muscles are responsible for twisting of the trunk. So if those muscles in the front are tight, you can also feel tightness in your back, which can eventually cause some pain in the middle back as well. And the last one, I think this is my last one I mentioned, is the latissimus dorsi. They call that the swimmer's muscle, because as you go like this, and pulling back, when you pull that arm back, you're using and engaging those latissimus dorsi. The latissimus dorsi is the largest muscle in the upper body. Okay, so you get knotting on that, you're going to feel it throughout the back. The latissimus dorsi is responsible for extension, adduction, transverse extension, also known as horizontal abduction, flexion from an extended position. So when you pull your arms backwards, you're involving your latissimus dorsi, and any kind of flexion, you're involving that as well, okay? So that muscle, those muscles are very, very big. Massaging all of that into this part of the back, which is your erector spinae. You also have a little muscle down here called the quadratus lumborum, which we're going to talk about in my last workshop, that can cause a lot of lower back pain. But all of this, if you've got spasming anywhere, anywhere along the back, it can radiate, it can cause a spasm over here. It may cause one in your tush. It could be anywhere. So everything's connected, as we all know. And if you keep things relieved by stretching, moving, breathing, you're going to alleviate a lot of this pain. And the teres major and minor, those are just very small little muscles just along the scapula, which is your wing. And I don't know if you can see this over here. sorry about that. The picture's a little bit too far over and we're covering it up with our video. But that is, those muscles, those are easy to get to with stretching like this. Okay, and that will, those are connected and a part of the whole scapula, middle back, and if you can relieve those as well, it will help. So now that I've kind of told you a little bit about the muscles that are involved in some of the tightness and pain that you may have in the middle back, now we're going to get to the good stuff. So all of this I'm not going to be able, I can show you the middle stretch because that one I can do in the chair. But the ones over here, these are very simple and they really will help your entire back. So I advise people all the time, if they're having spasms or pain in the middle back, upper back, or lower back, to do this particular one. You lay down on your back, okay? You bend your knees so that your feet are flat on the floor, and you can just lay like that for a few minutes. It actually will help. You do some deep breathing exercises. Imagine your spine just flattening out onto that floor, and that alone will help. So then what you will do is you'll twist the knees to one side, keeping this shoulder, the opposite shoulder needs to stay on the floor so that you enjoy the full extent of that stretch. Okay, and then you're going to feel that in the middle back, lower back, and into your gluteal muscles. If you have sciatica, this can help that as well. And then, of course, you go back the other way. I also recommend taking your knees with your hands and breathing in, pulling the knees up to the chest, and blowing out. Release the knees. Blow out as you pull the knees to your chest. Again, what you want to try to do as you do that is leave your shoulders on the ground. That will help get the full stretch. The other one, let me talk about this one for a moment first. This one you would do in yoga if you take yoga regularly. This one's wonderful too because look, as you take those arms over your head and out in front of you, you're immediately stretching everything around the scapula, which is your wing, and all the way into the middle back, as well as the lower back, and into the gluteal muscle. You're getting everything in the back that gets all crunched down from gravity and sitting and walking. Anything you do, gravity is taking a toll on your body and on the spine. So you want to reverse that by doing something like this. You take your hands out in front of you, you roll over and breathe. And then you can come up and do like a little cat, like arch the back and then arch it the other way. Breathe in and blow out. Just get that spine moving. You want to move your spines. It's really important throughout your day to move on a regular, just a regular cycle. And then this one you can do in your chair. So as you're sitting, you can take your arms, if you have a table, a desk, or the arm of the chair, you're going to keep your hips facing front. You breathe in and blow out. That is a really great stretch, and I needed it a lot more than I realized. Okay, you blow out at that full range of motion. You're taking your head with you. Come forward back to center. Take the other side. Breathe in and blow out. And then even at your desk, you can take your body and arch. Put your hands on the table, arch your back one way, and take the head back and arch the back the other way. Go forward and go back. Let me stop sharing this screen so you can see me a little better. So let me go back on this one. You twist all the way, and the other side. You can take your hands on your desk, arch the back one way, take your chin up and back. Like kind of sticking your tush out, and the shoulders back. Then go again, breathe in and blow out. And then throughout the day, you can take your hands over your head when you're at your desk. You're going to grab your wrist. I give this almost every time, but it's very effective. You grab your wrist, breathe in, go over, blow out. Come up, grab the other wrist, breathe in, blow out. And take your head back. Get the full stretch on this opposite side. You're going to feel it over here, but you're definitely getting into the middle back, the shoulder, the lower back. You're going to kind of attack all of it with that stretch. And throughout your day, breathe. As soon as you take deep breaths, your blood pressure is going to lower. You're going to have a sense of calming, which we all need right now. And how simple is that? You use your breath for that. You can breathe 5 deep breaths in a few moments, and you're going to feel very different from the beginning of that breath to the end of that 5th breath. And take a notice of how that changes everything, how your perspective, what's going on physically. It's extremely important to use your breath throughout your day with your stretching and your movement. And then as far as the movement goes, what I do for myself, when I get really, either if I get stuck with my creative process, or I don't feel well, or I'm getting really anxious, I stop and I go and I look outside, or I step outside, I go into the sunlight, I do my breathing, I walk, okay? All of it will help. So just take some time for yourself throughout your day and give yourself just a moment to change your perspective. It could be visual. It could be visual along with some movement. I'm not talking about going out and doing a 5-mile run. I'm talking about just throughout your day, getting up, changing your perspective throughout that day. Okay, it helps tremendously. All of the stretches will help you as well. Stretching is key to health. Flexibility is key to health. The more you stretch, the more you're giving space for your organs. You're bringing in oxygen. It's changing your posture. It's making you aware of why am I holding my shoulder up like this? Oh, okay, shoulder, calm down. You start to get to know your body a little bit better, and it's going to like you a lot more. Okay, and it's not going to hurt as much. So just keep that in mind as well. Now, as far as sleep positions for your middle back, I mention the same ones each time because all of them will help the entire back, as well as the hips, the shoulders, the arms, and everything. When you're sleeping, if you're a stomach sleeper, which that's really not the best way to sleep, but if you can only sleep that way, you want to be aware of how to help that position. One of the things you want to make sure you do not do, you don't want a big thick pillow for your head to be laying on, okay? Because your head will be at a tilt like this, then when you wake up, you're going to have neck issues. So be very careful that if you are a stomach sleeper, that you have a pretty flat pillow for your head. And then the other thing that you can do if you're a stomach sleeper is put a pillow under your hips and tummy, because that'll keep your spine from, it's according to what kind of mattress you have, but if it's slightly soft, your lower back is going to be slightly arched from the weight of the body, and you want to keep it flatter. You want to keep the spine flat or even a little bit lifted right at the hips. That will help the lower back if you're a stomach sleeper. Also, if you're a stomach sleeper or side sleeper, don't sleep with your arms up under your head. That affects the shoulder because the weight of your head on your arm overnight will cause some pain in that shoulder when you get up to move the next day. If you sleep on your sides, when you sleep on your side, you want to make sure that not only your head is supported, but you want to make sure your neck is supported. And if you can, make yourself so that you're not having as much weight on the shoulder you're sleeping on. Don't have this arm underneath you this way. That will cause all kinds of problems in the shoulder and elbow and arm. Try to get your arm out from under you, and then you have your neck and your head supported by your pillow. Then, I have so many pillows when I sleep. then you're going to hug to keep the weight of this arm hanging across like this, which can cause problems in this shoulder and in this arm. Sometimes you'll find it's asleep when you wake up. You're going to put a pillow in this arm and hug it. And if you're a side sleeper as well, you can put a pillow in between your knees so that your hips are staying parallel to each other and not one leg crossing over, because that will hurt your lower back. So be aware of your sleep positions. That if you sleep on your back, same thing with the pillow. You want to make sure you have your shoulders and your neck and your head supported on your pillow. That will help a lot. And if you want to, if you have lower back problems when you sleep on your back, you can have a pillow underneath your knees. All of those sleep positions and issues will help the issues in your back if you will pay attention to your sleep patterns and your sleep positions. Just to remind everyone who may have just come in, make sure that you put your Panther ID in a private chat to Yanya for us, because we just need to keep track of all that. I appreciate it. And one of the last things I'm going to talk about before I open it up to some questions, I want to talk about some of the things you can do as far as self-massage for your middle back. Now, it's really hard to get to your middle back with your hands. So that's almost impossible, but there are some great tools you can use. One of them being this great creation that somebody's making money. I wish I'd thought about this when I was younger. But it's a hard foam. I mean, not hard, but it's pretty sturdy. You would want to have like a yoga mat or on a carpet. What you would do is you're going to turn it. I'm going to have to just try to describe it without showing you with my physical body. But you would have this way. Okay, your body is going to go like this. Here will be your head. Your shoulders will be here. Your back is here, your upper back. Then what you're going to do is breathe in. As you blow out, you're going to roll your body over the top. So now the middle back is on here. Then I'm going to key and then hold and breathe. You'll feel that. You may get a lot of natural adjustments in the spine, like pop, 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 pop. That's a good thing. Then you let it keep going. Now just below the middle back is getting onto the foam roller. Then as I keep rolling across it, then my lower back goes. Now, what I want to do when I get into my middle and lower back is let my arms go back behind me and breathe. Blow out and let your body really commit to it, because it can be a little bit painful, but it's worth it. Okay. So as you go across, you're going to go all the way down to the lower back. And then this is what I do. I mean, be careful. It's according to your body type and your own issues. You know your body, of course, better than I do. When I get down to my hips, I lift my knees slightly, and I just lay like that, and it feels delicious, because then your legs are slightly elevated, the blood is coming out of the legs, and this thing is just really, really helpful. Some people use it if you work out a lot in your thighs. Let's say your quadriceps get super full of lactic acid from working out and doing too many squats. You can lay on it on one hip, front of your hip, and roll across on your thigh, the front of your leg, and it's like ow, 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 but it helps, and you breathe through that. You can use it for many parts of the body, and it's really helpful. And you can also use, I talk about this every week, a ball. It can be a racket ball, a tennis ball. It's according to what kind of pressure you want. I need a baseball, because that's how much my back needs a lot of pressure from all my massage work. But you put it in the area that bothers you. You can lay down on a yoga mat or a carpet. You're going to put it in the spot that bothers you. Breathe. Press down on that spot or not, and just hold. You can lift your arm up over your head. Lay down on that ball. Move around so you get different aspects of the muscle. Just a slight movement, and you'll go, oh, oh yes. You'll feel it in your arm. Oh, I feel it up in my neck. I feel it up to my head. You're going to feel it all along. You can move it around. You can use it in the middle back, lower back. You can sit in a chair and use it on one gluteal. I'll be talking about that on the next workshop. People with sciatica, make sure you come to our next workshop, which is pain in my butt. That's the next one. And that one we will be talking about how to use a ball even within your chair, and that will help with sciatica. And there's going to be a lot of good stretches for that one as well. So this is another wonderful thing, another tool that you probably have in your house somewhere, and you can use that. I'm constantly using the ball. But now let me talk about my new purchase. Look at this. This one is called Back Joy. I just purchased this. You can look up Back Joy. It's like it's a company that's just back stuff. And it was about 25 bucks, and it came pretty quickly. I think I got it within 3 or 4 days. Okay, all of these knobs, you can use them in different areas, and this little handle here and this one are for the pulling part of this. But let's say, like for me, back, B-A-C-K, joy, J-O-Y, Back Joy. There's a knob. This one's a little bit bigger than all the, it's like, it has a little, not a sharp point, but a point to it. Now I have an issue right off of my scapula, right up here, and it's a constant problem for me. It hurts all the time, and it reflects pain into my neck, into my head, and down my arm. It goes everywhere. So I can just hook this little hook right in my knot, and then I pull down, and it goes very, very deep. And I breathe. Whoops. I breathe in, blow out. And then I can move it a little higher and pull down. Or all the way up here in the upper trap, I can take it and pull down. I can take it and put it anywhere. This can be used in the middle back as well. You hook it around and pull forward. You do not want to put this, just to give you a warning, don't ever put this on the spine, okay? You don't want to do any deep pressure on the spine itself. You're going to go into those muscles I mentioned earlier, the erector spinae, and you're going to go just off the spine and hook the hook into that. And I believe these, if you want to do some, it's kind of acupressure, you know, trigger point therapy with all of the different knobs, and it comes with a little explanation, and it has directions and how to use it and pictures and all of that. This, I highly recommend this. I've been using it this week, and it's just wonderful. I can't stop using it. It's just helping so much. So those are basically some of the things you can do for your middle back, which every time I talk, I'm kind of talking about upper back, lower back, hips, because if you have a problem in one area, it's reflecting into the entire back. So that's why I bring up pretty much the entire back each session, but it can be very helpful for you. So what I want to do now is, if anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Does anybody have anything they'd like to ask me? Or if not, that's fine too. This is, we're just trying to give you some tools to help you relieve some of the stress and tightness that goes on naturally, especially now that people can't come into our office for massages. This can help alleviate some of your problems, hopefully. I'm hoping it helps some of you. And also, I'd like to, oh yes, go ahead, Sylvina.
Do you have any recommendations for the neck?
Yes.
Because I was going like this, and I'm hopeful. I hope that's good. I hear that's good.
So it is. When you do circles of the neck, you want to make sure you're breathing, and you want to make sure you go slowly. Don't do it fast. Okay. If you have herniations in your neck, do not do that. I don't recommend that for people with herniations, but otherwise it's fine. But nice, slow stretching of the neck. You want to keep your shoulder down. You take your head with the opposite hand, and you're going to pull down and breathe. Okay, and then turn your chin towards your opposite shoulder. I mean, yes, down like that. Take your hand behind your head and pull down. You're going to feel it behind the back part of the neck, and also the shoulder. You'll feel that in there.
And Shari, as far as the range of motion, how far with the neck exercises should you go, or is it just based on your comfort or pain level?
Comfort level. If you're starting to feel pain, You don't want to go any further. It should be the kind of thing where you feel relief. You feel the stretch and the relief. I don't recommend feeling pain for that at all. So
Thank you.
it's just your own range of motion. You go to your comfort level where you are feeling a stretch, and you breathe through it, and you do it slowly. Don't ever do it too fast. Stretching should never be done in a fast way. Let's say you're trying to get your split, or you're trying to do anything. You don't throw yourself into it, because then you can really do some damage. So you always breathe into a stretch and hold the stretch for like 10 seconds to 20 seconds. And you can also take your hands behind your neck, keep your shoulders down, and you can pull the head forward. That feels really good. You'll feel that in the middle back.
Yes, that's true. There's like a tense,
That goes all the way down. I actually feel this, I would say, all the way down my thoracic spine. It's pretty incredible. All along those erector spinae that I mentioned.
I had another question as far as going back to the back. Well, it's back and neck. Would you recommend a firm mattress and a firm pillow? Because I'm finding that the soft mattress isn't doing what it's meant to be.
Soft mattress, that can cause a lot of pain when you wake up. And especially as we get older, you want a little firmer mattress. Like, you don't want it to be too soft, because then your back will arch, things are going to be twisted and sinking into the bed. For me, and also it's individual, but for me, I like a fairly firm mattress, but not crazy firm. You know, some people like to sleep on the floor, and that works for them. That never worked for me. But
yeah, that does work for me. I tried that too, to relieve the back pain, and that didn't work at all.
Me either. For back pain, I highly recommend a pretty medium to firm mattress, and also what I recommended with pillows. Make sure if you're on your side for lower back, you got to have a pillow between your knees. Okay, that will help so much. And for the neck, just make sure your neck is supported, that your things are supported, so that you have the least amount of weight on your body parts as you're sleeping. You're trying to kind of have yourself floating. I mean, if I could find a bed that just had me kind of suspended in midair, that would be great.
And what about the those neck rings or neck pillows? Would you recommend those?
I don't have one of those, but yes, you can go. You can look up just pillows for the neck, and you'll see all different types. There's one that's really cool that I've been seeing that's for shoulder issues and neck issues, where you're propped up like this on your side, and you can put your arm through this hole, so there's no weight on your arm, and then your head is on the pillow like this, which is really cool. There's all kinds of apparatus all kinds of tools you can purchase, and it's very individual, and they're kind of expensive. So sometimes if you buy one that doesn't work, it's kind of annoying. But yes, I recommend some of those pillows.
So I guess your takeaways would be, for more cost effective, I guess, invest in a lot of pillows or cushions.
Yes.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. This has been very informative. Really appreciate it.
And you know what? This is not from major education. Most of this, I was a professional dancer for a lot of my life, a ballet dancer, and then I've been a massage therapist for 20 years. And I've discovered what helps me, and that really is helpful for all of you guys. One of the other things that I want to promote while I'm here is that we're going to be doing another sound therapy session a week from today at 11 o'clock. That's for a deep meditative moment in your life, and it's really delicious and wonderful. So we invite all of you to come to that. The other thing is we're opened up to sound therapy consultations. It's 2-on-1. That will be Carla and myself, and we will do a sound therapy session with you and talk about unblocking whatever chakras we feel are blocked, and just discuss your own personal situations, and a nice deep meditative session for individuals as well. That's just by calling the office and making an appointment. Actually, Sylvina was with me today at 10 o'clock, and she can tell you a little bit about how she felt after.
It was really relaxing. I yawned like 5 times. That means that my body was extremely relaxed. And it really, really helps in terms of the sounds relaxing you. I really recommend it. And you have to do it more often. Today was my second time doing this, or third, and I feel the difference between the first time. So the more you do it, the better.
Thank you, Sylvina. Yes, and what's really great is you can, when you tell us what you're feeling that day, let's say you can't concentrate or you're having trouble communicating. Each one is represented by a different chakra. So we would focus on the bowl, each bowl that we have, the Tibetan crystal bowls, they represent, each one represents a different chakra, and that will probably resonate more with you, and it starts to help balance you and open you up. And it's a great experience. I've done it many, many times way before I actually started practicing it, and I found that it helped me a lot. So you're welcome to come and join us for that. And then in 2 weeks from today, I will be doing our last muscle workshop, which is on the lower back and tush, your gluteal muscles. And any kind of sciatica or leg pain, we will be dealing with that. And you're welcome to come to that. We hope you show up. And we're so glad all of you came. Thank you so much.
And how will we get the information for that session, Shari? Will we get an email, or do we have to go to your website?
You go to our website, and actually, Yanya, can you explain exactly how they find all of these things? Well, if you go on HLP, you're going to see everything. Like Sylvina, how did you find this one?
This particular workshop?
Yes.
I go to the Instagram and HLP Instagram, and there is a calendar. And on the date, today's date, there was a linked bit.ly/massage HLP.
Yes. Okay. So it's through the HLP Instagram, right, Sylvina?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check that out. Thank you so much.
And then if you want to do a private, well, that actually, are you a student? You're an advisor. So it's not for you. The sound therapy one-on-one consultations or two-on-one consultations are specifically for students. But the sessions, any of these workshops and sessions, you're invited to.
Yes, I figured that. Trust me, I've been looking. So when I saw that this one was available to staff too, I jumped in right away.
Yes, and come to the sound therapy. You'll love it.
Yeah, really do.
Yes, I'll try to see if I can do that. This has really been great.
So thank you all for coming. I'm going to finish our session. I wish for you a nice, healthy, wonderful day. Stretch, breathe, go outside, look at the sky. Anything you need to do to try to break patterns that are holding you back. And we wish for you a wonderful day. And thank you so much for being here. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye, everyone.